real cases before a real judge.
And now, enter the courtroom of Judge Mathis. Plaintiff Alexis Ingebretson is legally married to the defendant, and they have been for 12 years. Alexis claims the defendant is a sex addict who is into S&M, bondage, whips, and chains, and in an attempt to save her troubled marriage, she reluctantly participated in this behavior. Alexis is suing for unpaid rent and emotional distress. Defendant Kevin Ingebretson says Alexis is addicted to prescription pills, and she's an unfit mother who beat their children. As a result, Kevin got full custody, and their oldest daughter was forced to file a restraining order against Alexis. Kevin's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Okay, if I may give a little background, Your Honor. I have been married to PD for 12 years. I stopped counting at 12.
Why do you call him PD?
It's a special pet name. Pencil.
Oh. Gotcha.
Okay.
Does he accept that characterization?
That's what he is.
Oh my God. Well,
if I may further.
Well, you broke the pencil off.
But it wasn't worth it, trust me.
Okay, go ahead.
PD here is.
Do you want me to stop her from referring to you in that manner?
Please.
Ma'am,
I mean, it wasn't that bad. She stayed with me for 19 years.
Oh, not really.
Ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Ingebretson is a sex addict. He was into S&M, bondage, whips, chains, etc.
How do you know?
I'm sorry?
You were part of it also?
I was part of it. We have had a very troubled marriage, and trying to save my marriage, trying to assist him, I went to some of these things, couple playhouses like that and everything. My estranged husband has 12 piercings that he did himself down south, and he also has nipple piercings as well too. I did not care for that, but again, like I said, trying to save our marriage, do whatever I could with it. He decided to go off overseas to work, and we already had issues with the marriage. And I actually gave him the go-ahead, considering his sexual appetite, to do whatever he needed to do to fulfill his sexual appetite. However, do not get emotionally involved. Do not bring anything back to me, and don't let me find out about it. Mr. Ingebretson, upon returning home for a visit from overseas, gave me his computer. And I happened to find some emails that showed he was involved with a woman. He was sending pictures back and forth to her. Also where Mr. Ingebretson called me beef stew. And he had a taste for Chinese. And boy, he ate the heck out of that for 2 days.
That's what he said in the letter?
Yes, sir. And the email. So you're talking.
How do you know it was anything different than food?
Yeah, I love Chinese food.
I knew it was something different than food, Your Honor, due to the fact that he was speaking to the particular chick sexually. He was having he had an affair. He also made a statement in the email.
So you had a problem with that?
Well, the problem with that was that I found out about it. Remember, again, I said, do what you have to do. Do not leave a paper trail. He left a paper trail.
You didn't say leave a paper trail. You said, don't let me find out. And then me went and found out on your own.
Well,
but nonetheless,
I'll accept that.
But I can't see why you're so upset anyway, ma'am, about this. You done told the man he can go with other women, just don't tell you. Y'all done freaked off with people together. Sorry, what? Really,
no,
ma'am?
Not together, sir.
Come on now.
Not together, sir. Sorry, not together.
Well, you said y'all were going to freak houses?
Okay.
Huh?
More to watch. To watch is an exhibitionist thing, not that a sharing type of a thing.
Go ahead, man. I'm not
anyway,
changing.
To go on to further things as far as with, I am
You're suing him for rent and emotional distress. Let me hear his side on the background.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Alexis and I are going through a messy divorce. She has a problem with prescription medication. And as a result of it, you know, she's badly mismanaging finances,
I object.
abusing my children.
How so?
Well, my son showed up at my door in early January, no shirt, no shoes.
How old is he?
13. Beaten with a skateboard, his skateboard, by her.
That's a lie.
And no,
That's what he told you?
Yes, and I have the police report. The police reports regarding the beating, not only of him, but my 17-year-old daughter as well, and the fact that she was arrested for domestic battery.
Against the children?
Yes, and the children were put into my custody.
Hold on, let me see. And what, ma'am?
Case was dismissed. And as far as with the
Whoa,
children...
did he win custody?
No, sir. What happened was...
He did not win custody of the children.
What happened was DCFS got involved. They gave you a 72-hour cool-off period. He took it upon himself to have custody of the children. The custody was never relinquished from me.
Okay, so the court never granted him custody?
Correct, Your Honor. And
okay.
also...
You have any judgment of custody?
This is only due to...
No, you said it was never granted. Don't tell me it was due to. Hold on, was it ever granted?
With the divorce, yes. With our pending divorce.
Oh, you are divorced? Let me see.
With our pending divorce, sir.
They granted it pending the divorce.
He has temporary custody of our children.
Why? Why?
They're 17 and 13 years old. They've missed their father. He's been overseas for 6 to 8 years.
That's 3 different stories you've told me. I believe everything he's telling me about you, ma'am. I believe these police reports he's provided to me. I believe he got custody because you were physically abusing your children, because you've given me 3 different stories regarding the custody and regarding the answers. So I don't believe anything you say thus far, and I believe everything he says thus far. How about that? Go ahead, sir.
Then I also have police reports for harassment. I ended up getting a temporary
This your
restraining order
counterclaim
against
for
her.
emotional distress?
Yes.
What has she done to you? And then we'll get to her rent. Go ahead. What has she done to you?
The harassment.
How? You haven't told me.
Oh, the calls, the harassing calls.
What did she do? Call you and say
call
what?
and threaten me, call and threaten that I won't be able to see my kids, that she's taking away my kids, threatening my daughter, my oldest daughter, where I'm staying, to the point where she had to get a restraining order against her mother to keep her away from her.
Do you have that today?
No, I don't have that. I do have the restraining order.
Because I was going to ask her, but clearly she's going to deny that. So,
no, sir, I'm not.
Oh, you did? You did have a restraining order placed on you by your own daughter?
Order of protection, yes, sir.
Why?
And also by him. Because I had contacted my daughter's bosses, letting them know that my 2 teenage children were staying in a 1-bedroom apartment and they were not supposed to be there.
And that's why she put a restraining on you and the judge granted it.
Yes, sir.
Good enough. You think I'm a fool to tell me some story like that? I can't see why you're so upset anyway, ma'am, about this. You done told the man he can go with other women, just don't tell you. Y'all done freaked off with people together. Sorry, what? Really,
No,
ma'am?
not together, sir.
Come on now.
Not together, sir.
Well, you said y'all were going to freak houses?
Okay.
Defendant Kevin Engelbretson is legally married to the plaintiff, and she claims he's a sex addict who is into S&M, bondage, chains, and whips.
You're suing him for unpaid rent. Why?
Because, Your Honor, Mr. Engelbretson and I are in the same lease for the house that we were renting, which I do have here. Also, I have where he had stated that he would be paying rent, but he failed to pay rent for January and for February, Your Honor. That's why. And also, I have the ledger that shows late fees.
You all have a temporary separation order or something?
Yes, we have we've been separated, legally
Do you have
separated.
an order?
Yes.
No.
And does it say the financial obligations?
No, there is nothing.
It doesn't address that at all?
No.
All
She
right.
never had it
So he
signed.
doesn't owe you a dime.
And
Your Honor, even with an agreement between us,
Even
he
with
doesn't
an
owe me a
agreement,
dime.
as a couple, as a married couple, it's joint, everything. And unless that temporary separation order addresses your financial status is just as it always has been, joint obligations and joint assets.
Okay.
So you have to address this in divorce court.
Yes,
and the
sir.
judge might say, well, I think it's only fair that she receives some money that you promised, even though it wasn't legally enforceable at that stage. I'm still going to enforce it. The judge, he can do that. So that's where you have to petition and try and get your money at the divorce hearing, because I can't separate you all's money as a married couple. I can't grant you anything regarding that. Your emotional distress is, what has he done to you, man?
My emotional distress is that, sir, I have woken up with Mr. Ingebretson choking me in the middle of the night when he had gone over to Afghanistan. Also, emotional distress is that he had placed all over Facebook pictures of himself and his girlfriends, and have had his girlfriends contacting my children as well, too. And since you're saying you can't do anything with the money.
Y'all, I'm not going into that relationship issue and him seeing other women and all that. That's too confusing for me to figure out what's happening. And secondly, emotional distress is given when there's some type of extraordinary and outrageous action by someone that causes extreme stress to the other. That's not outrageous and extraordinary. Cheating. That's common, quite common, particularly when the wife says you can. Now, with regard to choking you, now that's an action for emotional distress. Have you choked her?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
You have any evidence that he choked you?
Yes, sir.
Come on up, ma'am. State your name.
Christy.
What do you know about this choking?
Just what I know, what I heard her tell me the night that it happened, woke up and called me about it.
She show you any evidence?
No.
Well, take it from me. You can't believe what she says. Your judgment is dismissed. So is yours, sir, this emotional distress that you're alleging against her. This is kind of typical things that go on when parents are going through divorces or family breakdowns. Both your cases are dismissed. You all see each other in divorce court, and they'll work it out, all right? Good luck.
Idiot. Thank you so much with your crazy self. You want to claim emotional distress or is it post-traumatic stress disorder? Which is it, Kevin?
I'm just looking forward to divorce court and getting this over with so I don't have to deal with you anymore.
Oh, you have to deal with me. We have 2 children, pencil.
That I now have custody of.
Temporary, crazy man.
No, I got word just before we went to court today that I do have custody.
Temporary. Trial June 8th. You'll find out. You'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah.